What's up, my peeps? You know who you are. I'm just like I said. I'm making these videos for you guys, the ones that have stuck with me, and I still got a lot more stories to tell. You know, so hope you guys like this one. Real quick, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, comment. Um, anyway, this one's gonna be about it's like kind of like a prison story, but it's kind of like about one of my homies that I met at the DOC Academy in Tucson, Arizona. It's called COTA, Correctional Officer Training Academy, and it's like it's kind of like up in the mountains, and you kind of stay in these little like barracks, and you're there for like I think it was like 5 or 6 weeks, and it wasn't that hard, but it was some things were a little bit challenging. But I made a couple of pretty good friends there, while I was there. But anyways, this dude, I'm gonna call him JM. Those are his initials. He was from Riverside, California, and he was a pretty big dude. Like he was about 6 foot. Pretty stocky dude, pretty athletic. He played middle linebacker at I think it was San Bernardino Junior College, one of those. So he's a pretty athletic dude. He did some boxing when he was younger, so we had that in common. And but like, anyways, me and him kind of hit it off right away. A lion recognizes another lion. You know what I'm saying? But like the reason we hit it off was because like they paired us up for self defense, right? I guess because we were compatible, for like we were about the same level, I guess, But so we kind of started to know each other a little bit like that, but we didn't really become homies until one evening, like after like all the classes and everything was done. Like we would usually have like free time from about I think like about 5 p.m. till about 9 p.m. was like we had to be in our rooms, in our barracks or whatever. And then they had like a sergeant and like another CO, like a CO2, that just kind of like they were assigned, like to make sure that we weren't running around, after lights out and stuff like that. But anyway, so like one evening after all the classes were done, um, there was like a rec room for us. There was like a gym area, and then there was like this other room. It was like they just had like I don't know, like it was kind of like just an area to hang out, I guess. And so anyway, like I was kind of just looking for something to do, and I just happened to walk in, and there was only a few people in that kickback area, and one of them was JM. And when I walked in, he was like kind of arguing with these two. There was these two big white dudes, these two big white COs in our class, and one of them like had a shaved head. He kind of looked like a skinhead. I mean, doesn't mean he was a skinhead, but he looked like one, and he kind of acted like one. And then this other dude was like, he was like really big, like about 6'3", kind of a redheaded dude, looked like a big old corn-fed motherfucker, But he was kind of a pussy. He was just real big, but you could tell he wasn't tough. But a lot of times dudes like that, they're tough when they have other guys with them, when they're, you know what I'm saying, like when it's in their advantage. So basically, what I walked in on was JM was kind of arguing with them about something. I'm trying to remember what they were. I mean, it doesn't really matter what they were arguing about, but basically, like they were kind of like acting like they were gonna like double team on him or something. And so I walked in, and they didn't really see me at first. JM didn't see me either. I just kind of came walking up, and they were just kind of like jawing back and forth. And then I walked up, and I was like, "Yo, what's up? What's going on?" And then JM looks at me. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "I'm about to throw down with these two." And I was like, "Oh, for real?" I said, "Well, don't do that, man. You're gonna get kicked out." But I said, "If it comes to that," I said, "don't even sweat it, bro." I said, "I got your back." And then they both kind of looked at me like, "Oh shit!" Like the odds are a little bit more even now. And like I'm not gonna lie, like me and JM were definitely the two most feared dudes in that class of about. I'm trying to think. I think there was like maybe about 30 or 35 cadets, or whatever in that class, and like people would watch us like in self defense, and I mean the whole class would be watching us because we were just like the two most intense dudes, and like we would be hitting like we had these things that we used to punch and kick, and like everybody would be watching us. So when them dudes and like I had kind of mentioned to a couple people that I did Muay Thai because they kind of asked me like, dude, how'd you learn how to hit like that and kick like that, right? So these dudes kind of knew that I had did Muay Thai. So as soon as I told them that I was gonna back them up, they were like, oh fuck. So anyways, that's how we became kind of tight. And so like after the academy, like we started carpooling. It was me and him and this brother. This dude was like half white and half black. Uh, his last name was Wilson. He ended up moving back to Cali, but anyway, we used to all carpool together, and we used to go clubbing together and stuff. And so like, I was single. I was pretty much like just a player back then. Like I had a girlfriend like here and there, but mostly like I was just like playing the field, right? So we would go clubbing, but he had a lady. He had a lady that he had I think they just had one kid, like at that time, and I started to find out that he would kind of like mistreat his lady sometimes, right? I mean, obviously, some people are gonna say, well, like, yeah, he's mistreating her because he's, probably cheating on her if he's going to clubs with you and stuff, right? But I'm not gonna get into that. Just basically, like, one night, like, I came to pick him up for the carpool, and he had like this crazy look, like kind of like just this, I don't know, like this evil look on his face, but it was kind of like this weird smile, like I don't know. I was like, dude, I was like, what the fuck's up, bro? And he goes, I just fucked her up. I was like, what? He was like, she fucking pissed me off. So basically, like, I guess it started out as they were just like, they were like play fighting or something, like wrestling around on the ground or something. And I don't know if he got too rough with her or what, but I guess she bit him like hard. And like, I don't know, I guess she left teeth marks. I don't think she drew blood, but she left teeth marks or whatever, right? So homeboy got mad and like punched her in the ribs. That's what he told me. He told me he punched her in the ribs, and then like she obviously like was grabbing her side and like crying, and then he got up and then he said he fucking kicked her, and I was like, God damn, dude, I said, you're fucking crazy, man. I was tripping out on him, right? So, but we were young dudes, so like a lot of people might say, well, why did you keep being friends with them? I mean, it is what it is. Like we were young dudes, we were homies, and like we carpooled and all that. So like I just kind of obviously I just kind of stayed out of his business. I mean, she stayed with him, what I mean, she didn't leave him, so that was his business, right? Obviously I didn't approve of it, and I'm not a person like that. I would never be like that, but that was his business, right? So anyways, like I ended up, when I met my baby's mom, my lady, um like I introduced her to him and his lady, and like pretty much right off the bat she didn't like him. So I guess she was like a pretty good judge of character. She didn't like him, and then she really didn't like him when I told her that how what he did with his lady, that like he would smack her around sometimes. But anyway, what ended up happening was we were homies for a long time, and we ended up getting into it because like I had told him that I would let him borrow my truck because I had this truck that I wasn't driving at the time, um, and but I had told him, like I'm gonna let you use it, but if when I need it back, I need it back. Like I'll try to give you notice, but when I need it back, don't get mad or anything, And he was like, no, no, that's cool, So anyways, make a long story short, what ended up happening? Oh, actually, you know what? Before I get into that, I'm looking at my notes. I just remembered I wanted to talk a little bit more about our DOC days. So like I was at SMU 1 and he was at SMU 2, and he was like a very aggressive dude. Like he was always getting in trouble for like excessive use of force and stuff like that. And I'm not innocent of that either. I got in trouble for that too, like a few different times, right? But he was a little bit worse than me, I think, because he ended up getting green lighted by some mafiosos. And I won't go into detail any more than that. That's all I'm going to say. But they ended up having to move him because, they sent an anonymous kite. That's what they call it. They just sent an anonymous message to the supervisor, shift supervisor, and it said, move CO, said his name, or, we're going to fuck him up. Like, I don't think they were going to kill him. I think they were just going to, like, beat the fuck out of him to send him a message, They were kind of giving him a chance, I guess. That's a nice way of giving you a chance, with those guys. So they ended up, like, moving him to a different... he was still at SME 2, but they moved him out of that unit, or that pod or whatever. And he was only allowed to work controls for about 2 months, like no inmate contact, because they considered it like that he had a hit on him, right? So, like maybe about, I don't know, like a couple months after that had kind of like blown over. Well, it didn't really blow over. They ended up moving him to a different facility. So like a couple months after that, like I said, after that, after he got moved, I ended up going over to his house for, he invited me over to, just come over and chill and have dinner or whatever. And, so like, cause he had moved into a new house. That's what it was. And, so like I went over and, I brought my lady with me, and like, so we were chilling. And, but like this dude, like one thing about him is he's kind of a show off, And I don't know, I've never been like a super competitive type dude, but that's just the way he was, I guess. And so like, he wanted to show us all his, cause he had like some boxing trophies and stuff from when he was younger, right? So he was showing them, to us and stuff. And, I was like, that's cool, And I wasn't hating on him or nothing, don't get me wrong. I was like, that's cool, bro. And he was showing it to my wife and everything. And then, but then he started saying some shit like, yo, we should spar, man. We should spar sometime, And I said, yeah, I'm down, man. Whenever you want, And I guess he had just hurt his back. Oh, he was in a car accident or something, like maybe like a month before that or something. So his back was kind of messed up. But he's sitting here telling me like we should spar, right? And I'm like, yeah, just let me know whenever, bro. Because back then I stayed in shape, man. Like, and I pushed a lot of weight. That's the thing is like he was bigger than me, but I was stronger than him. Like I was stronger on squat, bench, everything. I could outlift him. But he was like he could run faster than me and stuff. He was like a real athletic dude, right? But as far as like fighting, like I'll get into it, he was just kind of like. He has some boxing skills, but he didn't know shit about like wrestling or jiu-jitsu or nothing like that. Like he was just kind of like a bull, like just a brute, like, and he was just like a super aggressive dude. Like he didn't really think, like he didn't really like use his skills or, he just kind of went purely off aggression, right? So he's sitting there telling me like we should spar and I'm like, cool, let's go. And then he said, but, if we spar, he goes, I'm not going to hold back. He goes, I'm going to fuck you up. I was like, oh, really? I said, you want to talk like that? I said, we can fucking spar right now, dude. I said, let's get the fucking gloves on and let's go, dude. I said, I ain't fucking scared to spar you, dude. And he was like, oh, well, I can't spar right now because my back's, fucked up. I said, well, don't be talking shit then, man. Fucking, if you're going to say some shit like that, you better be ready to back it up, And he's like, oh, we'll spar. Don't worry. He's like, give me a few months to get my back better. I was like, yeah, okay, bro. Just let me know, So anyway, like I said, we ended up, real quick. He ended up getting mad at me because we were eating dinner and I accidentally spilled the beans about those mafiosos putting a hit on him. I had no idea that he hadn't told his lady about it. He should have told me, right? So we're eating, and we just started talking about prison stories and stuff, right? And then like all of a sudden, like I just thought of that, right? And I said, I'm trying to remember how I worded it, but I was like, oh yeah, I said, remember when those mafiosos put a hit on you? And then his face was just like, dude, he was like, shut the fuck up. And then his wife was like, what? And I was like, oh shit. And he was like, dude, I was like, hey man, you never fucking told me don't say anything, dude. I thought you told her. And then she was just like, oh my God. She's like, what? She's like, what the fuck is he talking about, So he was pretty pissed at me, and he had to like sit there and he kind of downplayed it, but anyway, so what ended up happening was, so like I loaned him this truck, right? And then like maybe about 3 weeks later, my lady was getting a job because she was just at home taking care of our son, and then so like I think my son was like almost a year old, right? So she was getting ready to go back to work, and so I told him, I said, hey, bro, I said, in about probably about 4 or 5 days, I'm going to need that truck back. I said, I'm trying to give you a little bit of notice, And he right away kind of got attitude about it. He was like, well, I thought you were going to let me use it for a whole month, And I was like, hey, bro, I told you I would let you use it, but remember I told you if I need it back, I'll try to give you notice, but remember I told you don't trip, And he was like, yeah, all right, whatever, man. And I was like, dude, for real? I was like, you gonna get mad? And he was like, well, I paid you, for because I think he paid me like I don't remember the amount we agreed upon, but it was basically just like covering like insurance, and then like maybe like another like $50 or something like that just to use it, And then so like I was like, dude, you've had it for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? I said, if you want, I'll give you like $20 back, because, like I said, I think I charged him like $50, and then he, like paid that months of insurance for it, right? So I told him I'll give you $20 back, and he was like, yeah, all right, whatever, So he was all mad about it, So the day came that I told him I was going to go pick it up. And so I went over to his house, me and my lady went over there. And so like, we get off, and, he told me, he texted me and told me, or not texted me, he had told me the keys will be in the tailpipe or something like that, or on the back tire. I don't remember, but so he made it seem like he wasn't even going to come outside, So I get off and I look for the keys. I got the keys, and then I probably should have just listened to my lady. She was like telling me, "Come on, let's just go get your truck, let's just go." And then I was like, "No," I said, "I want to talk to him, I'm hard headed, So like, actually, like, so like I think I was gonna go ring, or actually I did go ring the doorbell, and then they ended up, or actually his wife ended up coming to the door, and she was like, "Hey," she goes, She goes, we'll be out in a couple minutes, because I guess they were actually about to head somewhere. So like, I was like, all right, cool. I said, I just wanted to talk to Jimmy real quick, you know. Ooh, JM. And so like, I was like, all right, you know, and she was like, she was like, it's, don't worry. She's like, he'll get over it, you know. And I was like, yeah, okay, you know. And then so like, after a while he came out and he was like, why are you still here, man? He goes, I gave you your fucking keys, you know. I was like, for real, man, you know, you really gonna be like that? And he was like, I already told you, man, you know, that's bullshit, you know, I fucking paid you and this and that. I said, dude, I told you I was gonna give you some money back, you know. I mean, it's only like a week early, you know, not even a week, it was like 4 or 5 days that I'm getting it back, right? And so he was like, he goes, this is what made me mad. He goes, this ain't fucking over. He goes like that to me, right? And that was always been one of my fucking pet peeves. Like, I could sit there and tolerate a dude talking shit as long as it wasn't too disrespectful. But if a dude put his finger in my face, it's on. Like, it's automatic. Usually I would have, if he wasn't my homie, I would have just cracked him in his chin right there. But when he did that, I told him, bro, don't put your fucking finger in my face, dude. I said, that's fucking disrespectful, man. Don't fucking do me like that. And then he goes, you lucky my wife and kids are right there. He's like, we're gonna fucking go. He goes, this ain't over. We're gonna fucking go. I said, yeah, bro. I said, we can fucking go. I said, we can go 100%, dude. And I told him, you know what? And I guarantee you I'll fucking win. And he goes, pretty confident. I said, yeah, because I know what kind of fucking skills I got, man. I know what I can do, you know. And he's like, yeah, all right. He's like, he's like, I told you this ain't over. We're gonna go. I told him, dude, I slapped his fucking finger. I got mad. I said, dude, I told you don't put your fucking finger in my face, dude. And like both of our ladies were like, you know, saying stuff like, you two better knock it off, you know, better fucking stop. But like right when I slapped his hand and told him that, he fucking like, he bull rushed me. And I already knew like the way he fought, because we used to always wrestle and like slap fight and stuff, you know. And the only thing we never did was like, we used to always talk about sparring, but we had never done it yet, right? So he bull rushed me, and you know, I ain't trying to act like I'm in it, like no expert in grappling or wrestling or nothing like that, but I wrestled for a couple years in junior high, and then I went to the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy in my hometown for probably about 8 months. So like, no, I wasn't an expert by far, but you know, I knew a pretty good amount of grappling, and like, I was always just kind of a natural when it came to that, because of the way I'm built, I guess, you know, just, I was always really good at just using like people's like body weight, and like, just, I was always real quick when it came to like grappling, right? So like, he just like kind of bull rushed me, and like, I guess he was gonna like tackle me and take me down to the ground, because he had told me before that was one of his ways that he liked to fight. Like, he would just like bull rush a person, because he's a big dude, and he would just tackle them down to the ground and then just ground and pound, like boom, 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 right? So I know that's what he was gonna try to do to me. So, hold on a minute. Damn, mouth's getting dry. So as he bull rushed me like that, I don't even know what the move is called, or I don't even know if it's like an actual like technique, but I just remember like I kind of turned my body, because I already knew where his momentum was going to take him, right? And I did one over hook and one under hook like that. And then as his momentum came towards me, because I knew I wasn't going to stop him because he was already moving so fast, right? I literally like flipped him over. Like, I picked him up in the air, and his feet, like, he flew upside down like this. That's how I threw him. I just took his own momentum and I flipped him up in the air like that. Boom. And when he hit the ground, I ended up on top of him like this. And I hit him a couple times. Boom, boom. And then he threw me off. He was pretty strong. He threw me off. And so like, I kind of like landed on the ground, and I kind of rolled up to my hands and knees. And we both popped up to the, you know, standing up again. And then, you know, we squared up, and then we boxed for, you know, like maybe like about 20, 30 seconds, just, both of us throwing punches. And he hit me a couple times. He dazed me a little bit, but I caught him pretty good a couple times and dazed him back. And then he tried to take me down again, and I threw him off. And then we squared up again. And like, I don't know, some of you might say like this is a dirty move. Like, I know some people try to act like there's rules to a street fight, but there's not. Like, I've told you guys before, like, I'm no expert in anything, but I do know a lot of shit. And like, now that I'm older and a lot heavier, I can't do a lot of the moves that I used to be able to do, But I can still throw leg kicks and stuff, but I can't throw anything like above the waist. But anyways, I was always pretty good at throwing them leg kicks. If anybody watches like MMA or Muay Thai, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a kick to the side of the thigh, or like you can even kick to like the knee area, or like, now they even do it down to like the like around it, like by the ankle, or like the side of the shin, But anyways, like, I knew from wrestling with him and stuff in the past, I knew he had a fucking bum leg. He had a bad knee that would pop out of joint sometimes. So I knew I could end a fight like that because I did it to him like at least twice before, like on accident. I would leg kick him and then he would just be like done, right? So I fucking gave him a hard leg kick, boom, to that bad leg, and his fucking knee popped out and he went down on one knee. And I could have been a dick. I could have clipped him while he was on one knee. But I just kind of stood there and I told him, "You fucking done?" And then he was like, fuck. He was like pissed, right? Because he wanted to keep fighting. And he's like, "You motherfucker." He's like, I got a bad leg. I'm like, "Hey, man, I did what I had to do to end the fight, bro." I said, they ain't no fucking rules. I said, you were going to take me down and fucking ground and pound the shit out of me, If I would have fucking let you, if I wasn't ready for you, So I said, fuck you, bro. I said, deal with it, And he was like, yeah, he's like, I'm fucking done, man. He's like, I gotta pop my fucking knee back in place, So anyways, like, the whole time we were fighting, our ladies were yelling at us and stuff to stop, but they were smart enough to stay out of the way because there was no way that they were gonna fucking stop us, And I felt bad because his baby was like crying and stuff, But I was like, he fucking he started it, Like, there was no way I was gonna fucking start a fight with him in front of his, his lady and his baby. But anyway, so like, that was pretty much the end of our friendship, and like, I fucking just, I gave him his $20, and he fucking threw it back at me. I was like, all right, dude, whatever, man. I said, I'm gone, So I got in my truck, we left, and that was pretty much like the last time I ever talked to homeboy, like we were pretty tight for a long time, but I mean, I got my like not so good points and stuff, but like I said, like homeboy had some serious aggression issues and like especially towards his lady or whatever. But anyway, hope I didn't ramble on for too fucking long. Hope I did a good job telling that story and didn't leave out any good details. But anyway, that's another one for you guys. Till the next one, your homie Big Cisco. Peace.